Hello, everyone. We see everyone coming in. The participant number is going up. We're gonna give everyone a minute to get in and get settled, and we'll get started shortly. Oh, someone's already raised their hand. Hi. I don't want to butcher your name. Hi. One 128. Awesome, 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 awesome.
Coming in fast.
Coming in very, very fast. Very, very fast.
And while you're coming in, we just want to formally congratulate you from the Office of Undergraduate Admission for being admitted to Emory University. We know it's been an interesting year to say the least, and we're just so excited to have you be a part of our community next fall. And we hope that as you're making your final decisions, Emory is the place you want to be. And we're excited that you're joining us for these various virtual webinars this spring. And hopefully, we're giving you all the information you need to make your final decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was just looking at the data, that's some fun stats on the wonderful students that have been admitted. Maybe you've heard already, but just to give you some fun stats, we have students that are admitted from 50 different United States, 113 different countries, 79 different languages spoken at home. 28% of admitted students are underrepresented, historically underrepresented students. So we're just so excited to have you all here to learn more about Emory. We hope you will choose us and we'll see you on campus in the fall. But we definitely enjoy engaging with you virtually for now. And so we still see everyone still joining, but we have a lot of information. Our lovely colleagues on campus advising, they have a lot to share with you today. So I think, Maya, it makes sense for us to go ahead and get started. Before I kick it off to Maya to introduce herself, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Jatan Davis. I'm an Associate Dean of Admission in the office. I've been in office for about 3 years now. And I travel to, right now, virtually travel to Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and the continent of Africa. So if you call if any of those places home, then I was at least one of the first readers on your application. All of your applications were reviewed multiple times, especially this year, multiple times. And so anyhow, congratulations again. And now I'll turn it over to my colleague, Maya, to introduce herself.
Yeah, thanks for being here again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're in Jatan's territory, all of those could be applicable, which we love. But as Jatan said, I'm Maya Walker. I'm Senior Assistant Dean of Undergraduate Admission, and I traveled to Pennsylvania, Delaware, and all of Maryland except Montgomery County. But I still have a lot of love for you all. So if you're here today, thanks for being here. Like Jatan said, we have some incredible presenters today who are going to be such an impactful part of your 4 years at Emory. And I just can't wait for them to share all of this fantastic information about our university from an advising and kind of academic standpoint, which is a huge part of the Emory experience.
One thing that I know we definitely wanted to say before we got started was questions. Of course, we want to hear all of your questions. Please feel free to submit your questions in the Q&A section. Look, we already got a question. We already got a question. But we have seen the slides that our colleagues are going to share. They're very content rich. So we have a feeling that your questions may be asked. However, we are going to, be scanning the Q&A section just to see questions as everyone presents. And then, of course, we should have some time for questions toward the end. Okay. But please don't be shy, as I know you will not, and go ahead and start submitting your questions.
All right, well, let's get started. And so I'll let Kimber get us started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to have you here today. My name is Kimber Clark, and I am an Assistant Director in Academic Advising working for the Office for Undergraduate Education. I have been at Emory for nearly 4 years and am excited to potentially be working with you. So as I mentioned, I work in the Office for Undergraduate Education. There are several folks on this call who also do as well. We're commonly referred to as the OUE. So if you start hearing acronyms, which you will hear many, the OUE stands for Office for Undergraduate Education, and you will become very familiar with this place as an Emory student. So just to tell you a little bit about the OUE, we support students from admission to graduation and beyond. And in our office, we work with students, we work with faculty, we work with staff, and we have a variety of programs to support you along your academic journey. And some of the few things that we work on outside of advising are scholarships and fellowships, undergraduate research. We work with all of our new students. And we're going to be talking about some of these things today. So I know that you're very interested in hearing a little bit about academic advising. And I'd just like to introduce you to some of the members of our advising team. This is not everyone. I'm a part of our general academic advising team. And this effort supports all of our Emory College undergraduate students. At this time, we assign students based on their last name. So for instance, I work with the students that have the last name F through N, as do several of my other colleagues. So if at any time you need to speak with an academic advisor, you have the option to meet with multiple advisors. And our team continues to grow. In fact, we recently just hired some new advisors in December, and we're getting ready to start interviewing more in the coming weeks. So let me get a little bit into the nitty-gritty of what academic advising looks like in the OUE. So we are structured through general academic advising, which I'm a part of, international advising, and graduation advising. All of these units are doing very similar work. We are just making sure that our efforts hit these specific areas in which you may be interested in. So in general academic advising, we're advising all of our domestic students. In international advising, we have 3 advisors that are working with students who are international students. And again, all of these are based on last name. And so through both general academic advising and international advising, we're working with you on course registration and planning and helping you look ahead and helping you with clarifying any policies and questions that you might have around procedures, whether it may be withdrawing from a course or choosing a grading basis for a class. At Emory, we also have lots of special populations. So we have our transfer students, we have our Oxford students, we have our dual degree students, and our veteran students. And so we're working with all of these students to make sure that you get the academic support that you need. And then, of course, we often work with many partner offices all across campus, in the college, in the business school, in our nursing program, and campus life. So definitely supporting students holistically as we help you through your Emory College journey. Our graduation advising is really specific to make sure that you're doing all the things that you need to do during your 4 years here. So we're helping you on your pathways to graduation, reviewing degree applications, and then of course, clearing seniors for graduation when it comes to be that time.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to take over now and talk a little bit about dual degree advising. I know that some of you may be interested in the dual degree program with Georgia Tech. And this is a program that allows you to get both a degree from Emory College of Arts and Sciences and Georgia Tech in the School of Engineering. So I guess what I wanted to do is give a really brief overview of how the dual degree program works between Emory and Georgia Tech. And I think it's important for you to know that you actually receive 2 undergraduate degrees. You get 1 degree from Emory College of Arts and Sciences, and you can do any major. And it's important to know that you could be a French major, you can be a music major. You get 1 degree from Emory, and then you get a BS in engineering degree from Georgia Tech. Because this is a dual degree program, you get both degrees upon completion of both degree programs. So it's not like you get a degree from Emory and then from Georgia Tech. It's really dual degrees. So you pursue your degree at Emory and then you move to Georgia Tech. When you complete both degrees, you get both degrees. What I'd like to let you know is students get the best of both worlds. You get an undergraduate liberal arts education from Emory, and then you're able to access a top-notch engineering degree from Georgia Tech. So typically the first 3 years of your undergraduate program are spent at Georgia Tech or spent at Emory pursuing an Emory College degree. And then at the end of your 3rd year, you apply to transfer to Georgia Tech. Students must meet all prerequisites to the program before they apply. And advising for this program is really based on student year. So if you're in year 1 or 2, you meet with Miss Rebecca Rigo, and if 3rd year students who are in the process of applying meet with me. So one of the most popular questions we get is where to start. If you're first year at Emory, you may have already received AP or IB credit for Calc 1 and 2, but where we advise students to start is really make sure you have Calc 1 and 2 completed. You need to take a first year writing requirement. Physics 151 and 152, these are really important. These are the calculus-based physics. You need to take these courses. Physics 141 and 142 will not meet those requirements. We also encourage students to take any science with a lab to start earning prerequisite credits. We encourage students to register as a dual degree student. Once you have your @emory.edu email address, you can go to the dual degree advising website and sign up to be on our listserv, and you'll get information about advising and program changes or just anything relevant to the program. We have dual degree advising program throughout the year. We do group advising sessions for 1st and 2nd year students just to make sure you're all on the same page. We do information sessions, and then we also sponsor events where you're able to meet with current students who are currently in the dual degree program. So applying to the dual degree program in engineering, I mean, we're not allowed to say you're guaranteed admission, but our experience has been if you meet all the prerequisites, you're guaranteed admission to Georgia Tech. You need a 3.3 GPA overall. You need an overall GPA in your math and science courses of 3.3 or above. You have to have completed 2 writing requirements at Emory that will transfer to Georgia Tech. And we will walk you through that. That's really easy. You have to complete all of your Emory major requirements. So whatever is required for your major at Emory, you must complete. And then you also have to select the area of engineering you want to major in, because different areas of engineering have different prerequisite requirements. And that's why advising is so important. We'll walk you through the checklist and help you understand what you have to complete to be eligible for this program. The other thing I will say, I just like to let everyone know this, is you can't really have any honor code violations. Georgia Tech takes honor code violations very seriously, and it is a reason for rejection from the program. So you apply to the program, to the dual degree program, in your last semester at Emory as you're finishing your Emory requirements. And typically, if you apply in your 6th semester or spring semester of your 3rd year, you will receive your admission decision sometime between March and June. And we currently have students in this year's class that are emailing us and letting us know they're going to Georgia Tech, which is very exciting. And then I also asked for an opportunity to talk a little bit about undergraduate research programs. I know a lot of you that are interested in Emory are interested in undergraduate research, and it's one of our most prominent programs at Emory. We have between 50 and 60% of our undergrads at Emory participate in undergraduate research programs. You can do that in a multitude of different ways. I just wanted to let you know we have both dedicated academic year programs like the SIRE program. SIRE stands for Scholarly Inquiry and Research Experience, and that takes place during the fall and spring. We also have dedicated summer programs, SURE, so that's summer undergraduate research experience in the summer. And we have a lot of undergraduate research advising available to you to help you meet your goals.
So Cora, before we actually go to the pre-health advising, which we're getting a lot of questions about, could you just speak? We have a couple of questions about the dual degree program. Let's see here. One of them is, does a dual degree program allow you to concentrate on a specific kind of engineering?
Yes, and in fact, that is one of the requirements. So before you move over to Georgia Tech, you really have to know what field of engineering that you want to go into. And that's something that will help you determine as part of the pre-dual degree engineering advising. So there are a number of different areas you can go into, but sometimes students are curious, should I do chemical engineering or biomedical engineering? And that is something we'll sit down, we'll review the requirements for students. We'll also talk a little bit about career outcomes and different possibilities for students. We work closely with Georgia Tech, and actually they offer information sessions for students interested in the different areas of engineering. And we encourage students to really look into those during their first and second year, so that by their third year, they're pretty clear on what area of engineering they want to pursue. But yes, we will help them focus and help them pursue the area they're interested in by meeting those prerequisites.
Okay, and we got a couple other questions trickling in that I know you can answer in the chat, but before I turn it over to continue on with pre-health advising, one question that we got a couple of times is just the length of time it usually takes to complete a dual degree program.
Oh, I'm so glad that question was asked. So we used to, years ago, 10 years ago, we used to refer to this as the 3+2 program. And we've stopped talking about it as a 3+2 program because what we realized is the length of time to degree to complete both degrees really depends on the student's path. And so what we're seeing is on average, it takes students 5.5 years to complete the dual degree program. And sometimes we see students take as long as 6 years to complete the dual degree program. However, what I will say is often, in many of those extended time length cases, students are choosing to do things like co-ops and internships that take them away from their academic studies for a while, so they get real world experience. So students aren't involved in classes, but maybe they're working for Boeing, or maybe they are taking 9 months to work for Google. We see this. And so that can actually lengthen time to degree, but students take those internship and co-op experiences into account when determining their career path. So I want to be very clear, it's not a 5-year program. It can take 5 years. We have students complete in 5 years, but depending on the type of extracurricular experiences the student wants to take part in, it can take as long as 6 years.
And if I'm not mistaken as well, depending on how many credits the student comes in with as well, right? That sometimes makes it a little bit easier.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. If students, we often see students coming in with AP credit or IB credit for Calc 1 and Calc 2, and that can shorten the time to degree.
Awesome, great. Well, let's continue on with pre-health advising, and we'll get to any other questions toward the end.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kim Molay. I have oversight for the pre-health advising population at Emory. I have worked with students, just a little bit about me, for 24 years. This is my 24th year, but I have been at Emory since 2004 and have worked with pre-health specifically since 2017. So I've been in a variety of roles with students, career counseling, academic advising. But as Kimber mentioned, we are under the umbrella of the Office of Undergraduate Education, but we specialize in something that is optional. You don't have to be pre-health at Emory. We have a large number of students interested in that, of course. And we have a lot of resources and a full team and office to support you in your journey with pre-health. So the main thing that I want to leave you with from this presentation is how to connect to us, how to get started learning about pre-health options. One of the questions that I saw, I know there have been several, but it was about what is your timeline or point of decision to decide, you're going to be going to medical school, going to another healthcare program. And the answer is that we want to work closely with you to help you figure out when you're the most competitive applicant you can be for whatever your next step will be after Emory. And so there isn't a decision point. You can major in any discipline at Emory and still do all the pre-health requirements. And you can even decide junior year or senior year, oh my goodness, I've now realized I need to go to medical school, and it's not too late at that time. So we are here to help you, support you through all of those different decisions. So this slide is really just about connections. We have a really strong opportunity to talk to current students. That's our peer mentor team. If you just Google pre-health Emory, you'll see our website. And then when you get there, you'll see our blog, and embedded in the blog is our newsletter that goes out the 1st and the 15th. And our blog is also updated multiple times a week. But it's just a good place to get a sense of the types of things that would be posted there. And also because we're trying to centralize a lot of things in one place. And so I don't want to be like, go to our website, it's all there, but it really is. And so start with our peer mentors. Those are our juniors and our seniors who do talk to our prospective students very frequently, and families, to answer questions about the services we provide, but also the general academic advising aspect of the Office of Undergraduate Education. And our focus really is how to plan, helping you to make plans for your academic success is the most important thing. And then your time beyond Emory as an applicant. So I mentioned how to connect to us. So on the next slide, I want to talk about who we are. There we are. We are divided by the alphabet as well once you enroll and you're an Emory student. And so the formal advising aspect is, as I said, academic advising primarily, helping you make decisions about not only the courses that you'll need, but also how to be a competitive applicant in other holistic areas that graduate schools and medical schools need you to be thinking about. So that's, thinking holistically, not just taking courses, but doing well in research or in clinical things, depending on your interests as well. And so I want you to think about our peer mentors, our current students. We have a very big team of them who are not paid by us. They are volunteers who really want to help other Emory students feel comfortable coming in and talking to their advisor in the pre-health office, and to feel that it's a friendly environment and not a super competitive environment, and make things accessible for you. So our peer mentors, like I said, are available at any point in time, before enrollment, before orientation, during orientation, and all 4 years and beyond. And think of them as kind of like our informal, ask whatever you really want to ask them. And then the advising system by the alphabet of your last name is maybe a little more formal because we want you to check in at least once a semester and just talk about all these holistic areas that you need to consider to be a competitive applicant. And then finally, for like the timing, I would say the goal in the first year is for you to explore a lot of healthcare options. We don't want you to only think about medical school or pre-med as the only choice. Lots and lots of healthcare options that we can advise you on. And again, our website is the best place to go there to see what those options would be. And then in your sophomore year, we get a little more structured where we say, okay, it's time to sit down and have an orientation with us. And it's time to get an overview of what we mean by clinical experience or research experience or leadership experience. So we kind of introduce that sophomore year so that you get your first year of college to just adjust to college and just get used to everything and get to know your professors and get comfortable before you have to think about what's next. And then in the third and the fourth years, those are the times when you are maybe making that decision. Like, I'm getting ready to apply. I'm a competitive applicant now. So what are the steps that I have to follow? And then our team is available to give you a lot of hands-on support. And we're about to go into that. Like right now, our busy time is the spring and the summer because medical school applications actually happen in the summer for those who are applying to medical schools. So we're really hands-on with that. Like while you're in your application, actually like walking you through that a little bit. Because sometimes you just don't know what you need to ask until you're in the process. So from the first year to, junior year and senior year, we're here, we're available. We want you to talk to us as much as you want. And I would say in the first year, especially because you're a prospective first year students, I would say, that's the time where you've established your habits and your foundation and getting used to college. And for those of you thinking of healthcare careers, you might panic if you're taking a lot of the STEM classes that have always been your areas of strength, and now it's different, and you've got your first exam back and you're worried. We connect you to our support areas and kind of help you navigate that in the Office for Undergraduate Education and through areas that other people will be talking about later on for support and help at every step of the way. So that's kind of a little bit about us. I know there's a lot of questions, so maybe I'll pause and just stop talking so you can ask any questions.
Yeah, so clearly we have a lot more questions that we could probably get to right now. We still have 3 more colleagues to hear from, but I will ask one question. There's just a lot of students that are just asking about, of course, pre-med in terms of, I saw a couple of questions about, can you do pre-health track and a dual degree track at the same time? Will there be a lot of academic pressure?
Yes, that's not an unusual question, because if you're thinking about coming to Emory, you're probably really interested in a lot of things and really talented in a lot of things. And it's hard to narrow it down and decide, right? So yes, you can, there's not a lot of pressure, but I'm saying yes to, you can make it work. It just requires a high level of planning, which is what our office is designed to do, as all of the OUE offices are, to give a very high level of individualized, action-oriented steps. These are the things that need to happen. These are the priorities that I need to focus on for this first year or the second year. So as long as you're working really closely with us and taking advantage of the resources available to you, you can do pre-med requirements with a double major or pre-health requirements with the dual degree. I mean, does that answer the question as far as like, is it doable?
Yes, I think it's going to be, like you said, there's going to be pressure. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be easy, but it's doable if you. Yes, there's a lot that has to happen, but there's a lot of support available to you and access to resources that will get you to navigate that. Absolutely. And I know, Kimber, I saw that you wanted to answer a question live. I'm not sure if this is the right time, or do you want to save that for a little bit later on, Kimber?
For me or Kimber?
I think it's for Kim, but I did accidentally hit answer a question live. So,
Oh, okay.
so I don't remember what it was though, but I do know Kim had one.
It was, at what point do you need to make the decision to go on the pre-med or pre-health track?
Yeah, and I think it's going to vary by your process with deciding on your major and deciding your readiness to apply, because there isn't a correct way to do it. There are a lot of different paths to the same point. And so that's why we kind of exist, to kind of help you figure that out for you, not what everybody else is saying you have to do, but what is going to work for you to get you the best results, because you know how to, you've gotten yourself to the point you're going to hopefully come to Emory, and you've been accepted to Emory. So you know how to be successful. And we have to make sure you continue to keep those things going as you navigate your college career.
Awesome. Great. Fantastic. Okay. So now I think it's Anna is up. BBA program.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Gibbons, and I am the Director of Pre-Business Advising and Admission for the BBA program at Goizueta. I am also a proud Emory alum. I was at the university, went away for about 10 years, and came back in 2014, and don't think I'll ever leave again. So really looking forward to many of you joining me, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the BBA program and the path to business at Emory. So just an overview of our BBA program. As many of you may be aware from your research about Emory, if you're interested in studying business, you are going to start that in either the spring of your sophomore year or the fall of your junior year with us. You're going to spend some time in the liberal arts first, but our Bachelor's of Business Administration provides you knowledge in all functional areas of business. So regardless of whether you're interested in marketing or finance, or you don't know, you just like the idea of business, you're going to get an introduction to all of those areas. As we've talked about and kind of hit on in several of the conversations so far, you are truly going to be able to chart your own path at Emory. There's no cookie cutter way to be a business student at Emory. You can focus on multiple areas of business. You can double major in Emory College. About 30% of students will do that. There'll be a BBA and also a Spanish major, a psychology major, pre-med, dual degree. All of those things are possible. We also have partnerships with the college in areas like film and media studies, environment and sustainability. So there's many, many ways to chart your path. And in addition to the dual degree program with Georgia Tech, we also have two dual degrees within the BBA program, one that combines the BBA with a master's in professional accounting, and another one that combines the BBA with a master's of science in business analytics. So many ways you can develop your path, and one of my roles is to help you do that. As a pre-professional program, meaning that many of our students do want to go to work right after college, we really focus on your personal, professional, and academic development. So lots of resources in our office to help you think about career exploration, to help you think about how to best present yourself and sell your story, all of those types of experiences. As I mentioned, you will spend 4 or 5 semesters as a BBA. You're going to start in Emory College, experiencing the liberal arts and taking prerequisite courses. So what do you do as you are kind of waiting to join the BBA program? I put that in air quotes because you're not really going to be waiting. You are going to be doing a lot of things throughout your freshman and sophomore year to help you solidify your interest in business. So the first is to take our prerequisite courses, and I have them listed there. So calculus, micro and macroeconomics, financial accounting, which is your first true, real, hardcore business class, data and decision analytics, which is a statistics-based course, and a continued writing course. Many of these are also going to fulfill your general education requirements, courses that all students take at Emory. And if you have AP credit or IB credit, some of these courses may already be satisfied by that credit. So if you Google Emory's AP equivalency, you'll kind of see which ones you'll have credit for. Another thing you can do is register as a pre-BBA. I have a listserv that I send out opportunities and programming and events that we'll have this summer. We'll have some programming that you can jump on in early if you're interested. We also hold daily drop-in hours for students. So in the fall, once you're on campus, we hold daily drop-in hours with professional advisors and our great team of peer coaches to talk about the BBA. You may say, I may want to study business, I don't know. So we can talk about that. We can talk about how you're doing in your courses. We can talk about other things you can do to get engaged in business. Nothing is off the table. So great time to get to know us. You'll also have the opportunity from day one to join our BBA clubs. We have functional clubs in all areas of business, and they do amazing things. Part of our finance groups invest part of Emory's endowment. Another one raises capital to invest in business owners in the Atlanta area and kind of help teach them business acumen. So they do some really amazing things, and you can be engaged in that early on. You'll also be able to attend pre-BBA programming. So we'll have a series, an academic series that tells you all the different things you can study in business. We'll have a career connection series that allows you to connect coursework to career opportunities and areas you may want to explore. And then we have a robust offerings in business and society, which is really business for good. How do businesses make positive impacts on the world? Social justice, entrepreneurship. So many areas where you'll be able to engage in our programming to make sure business is a good fit. As you may have realized as well, you do have to apply to the BBA program. You already did the hard part. Getting into Emory was the hard part. So congratulations again. If you want to study business, we want you in our program. Our acceptance rate is over 90%. The application progress is not overly rigorous. You've already done that once. You don't need to do that again. But you will apply in either the fall of your sophomore year to start in spring of sophomore year, or spring of sophomore year to start in fall of junior year. And that's really about credit hours and kind of how certain you are you want to study business, if you're exploring multiple interests at Emory. And so in meeting with me and my colleagues, we will make sure that you are on the path that fits best for you. But I've seen quite a few people asking questions about number of students interested in majors and things like that. We will have about 400 students who will join the BBA program out of your class, and we'll bring in about 200 of those students at each entry point. So we consider spring of sophomore year early and fall of junior year regular admission. There's not a right or wrong way, much like Kim was saying. As you're charting your path at Emory, there's a lot of different ways you can take it. And so you will enter at the time that is best for you and when you've completed the prerequisite courses. Our candidate profile usually does look somewhere like a 3.6 in their Emory coursework and A's and B's in our prerequisite courses, but we'd always want you to come talk to us. If that doesn't quite look like you right now, that's an average, not an everybody. So you'd want to come talk to me about your aspirations toward business. We also do value leadership on campus, and we are so excited to welcome you all back in the fall so you can truly explore all of those leadership opportunities.
Is there another slide?
Yeah, there's one more. Sorry,
okay.
Mia.
It's okay.
There we go. So if you would like to talk more about business, I know that this is such a brief overview. I do offer BBA consultations currently. So I meet with prospective students. Some of them will be high schoolers. Some of them will be who have not yet applied to college. Many of them will be you all. So please feel free to sign up for those. And as we transition to summer and you begin to get more information about advising, you'll also get opportunities to schedule one-on-one advising with me as well. So in addition to your OUE advisors, I'm able to advise you specifically on business. We'll have some summer programming, so check that out as well. And as always, you can reach out to me if you have specific questions about the BBA.
So we have two more sections to get to, but we do have a couple of questions really quickly. I'll try to consolidate this question, which is in terms of the process to apply to the business school. When can students do that? Whether they're at Emory College or Oxford College, does it differ?
It's not different, actually. So for the most part, it's when you have met the requirements to apply. So for students at Oxford, that would mean they had completed all of their Oxford requirements. The majority of Oxford students will come fall of junior year, but we have a group of Oxford students that will complete their coursework at Oxford early and come in the spring of sophomore year as well. A lot of times that means you may have had quite a bit of AP credit. Maybe you're ahead of the game in some of these prerequisite courses due to that credit, and I can guide you on that path. Many times you want to stay at Oxford because the experience there is just so amazing that you don't want to leave those leadership opportunities. So the junior year start makes a lot of sense for you. And I think I saw something about, there was one other business question, about combining things like politics, philosophy, and law in the BBA. Absolutely. And just, I have seen several questions about law. Law school is the most popular destination from the BBA program. We have several law classes in our BBA curriculum, and because require a specific set of coursework, it's really easy to combine with multiple interests at Emory. You can register as a pre-BBA now. So we will, I think it may be missing your class year now that I say that out loud, so I should probably take care of that, but I will do that after this meeting. But you can register very soon and start to get plugged into things we'll have going on.
And since you mentioned it, I have to ask, we've been asked a couple of times about a pre-law session and just in terms of pre-law advising. Can you talk about just the—
Sure. Much like pre-health and other pre-professional programs at Emory, Emory does have a robust pre-law advising office. Verdia Vance is in charge of that office. So if you Google pre-law at Emory, you will see some of those resources, but you are able to get guidance around all aspects of being pre-law. So she, through her programming and her peer mentors as well, will provide opportunities to learn about, courses that people have taken that have been helpful, the application process in and of itself. But what I have heard her say again and again is you do not have to have any specific major to be pre-law. And in fact, you don't need to major in political science, which many people think you do. So you can really, truly explore any interest across Emory's curriculum and also prepare for law school at the same time.
Great. Now we're going to turn it over to Megan. Thank you, Anna.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Gerard, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission and Financial Aid for all of the pre-licensure nursing programs here at Emory. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our traditional BSN program tonight. Oh, sorry, guys. I think I was frozen for just a second. Okay, so here's a quick overview of the BSN program and what it looks like. The BSN is a 4-year program where students complete 2 years of prerequisites and general education requirements at the university, and then complete 2 years with us at the nursing school. So you learn the practice of nursing in clinical and classroom settings. You guys do a combination of on-campus classes as well as in-hospital clinicals. And then students are eligible to go on to take the NCLEX and become registered nurses in any US state. And this is just an overview of what you guys can start looking into as far as being a nursing student. So the process for nursing students is that in your first 2 years, either at Emory or Oxford, you will complete prerequisite courses and general education requirements for the nursing school. There is a list of all of those classes on the nursing website, so you guys can just kind of Google Emory University Nursing School prerequisites, but this is just a sample of what your fall and spring freshman year schedule can look like, getting some of those prerequisites started right away so that you're ready to go, as well as getting all of those general education requirements. And once you have all of those prerequisites after your freshman year or freshman and sophomore year, you will apply to the nursing school for your junior year. All of our students will start their first semester of their junior year in the nursing program. There is an application process, so we just ask that you complete that application process as well as submit a resume. And then all students with at least a 3.0 are automatically admitted to the nursing school. So here's another list of those requirements. So the applications do open very early for the nursing program. We're about a year ahead of schedule. So you guys start your application June after your freshman year. And you can apply anytime from that June through January of your sophomore year. We do look for a resume and a personal statement. We will pull your Emory transcripts, so you don't need to worry about submitting any transcripts. If you did receive any college credit through transient study or dual degree, anything like that, we do need those transcripts. And again, the requirements are simply a 3.0 GPA and at least a C in all of your prerequisite courses. All right, I'm going to check and see if there's any questions. I don't think so. I know there are a lot of pre-med questions, so there is something that I would like to touch on, and Kim is smiling because I think she knows what I'm going to say. If you're interested in going to med school, please do not plan to attend the Bsn program. They are not necessarily good segues into one another, so it is important to kind of make sure that you're meeting with your PHA advisor and talking about all of the different options within medicine, because they don't always necessarily overlap. So we really do encourage students who are interested in pre-med to meet with myself and meet with somebody in the PHA office so that we can talk about all of your options. But it is just a good thing to know that the Bsn program is not the best way to go about being a pre-med student. It really is for those students who are interested in a career in nursing specifically. And if you still have some questions about whether or not nursing or PA or PT or pre-med is right for you, that's what Kim and I are here for, and we're happy to kind of help you all navigate the whole medical spectrum of careers.
Awesome. That was definitely the question that I was going to ask, and you told them how they'll be able to get the answer to that. So let's go on to Meredith.
Hi, I'm Meredith Ray, and I serve as the Associate Director for Academic Support. That might not be something that you're thinking about quite yet as you're making your decision to come to Emory, but I think it's really important to think about all the opportunities that we have for you to take advantage of to really be successful in your transition to college and take advantage of all the academic support across our programs. I have been at Emory for about 3 years, and I have a small but mighty professional staff team. I work with 2 other wonderful staff members. Myself and Christy Clemens serve as coaches, as well as head up our tutoring and coaching programs. And Ellen Torrance works with our learning assistance program, which I'll explain in just a minute. So EPASS is the common acronym term that students will use on campus to talk about academic support within Emory College. EPASS stands for Emory Pathways to Academic Success for Students. So that's why we use the acronym EPASS, because that's quite a mouthful. And one thing that we really like to do is have all of our information in front of students so that you can proactively use some of our tools and resources, as well as schedule appointments and reach us and really make the most of the academic support resources that we have for you. While we are a small team of just 3 folks, we have a huge team of undergraduate students that work as a part of our office. So our office employs almost 300 students in the fall and spring semester, fewer than that in the summer term. And when we're working with students, we're serving you in a number of ways. One of our biggest and most used programs is our peer tutoring program. This is free to all students who are enrolled in at least one Emory College course. Students can have up to 2 appointments weekly, and typically these are for core subjects in our first and second year programs. However, we are able to work with faculty and departments to find tutors and find support for upper level courses. We have around 60 highly trained tutors who work with us to not just be successful in their class and then come share their knowledge, but they're really trained in how to tutor. So it might be a little bit different than just finding a study buddy. We offer online appointments and are transitioning to offering virtual and some in-person appointments in the fall. And we're also working to offer group tutoring sessions for students that maybe get more out of working together with their peers. We offer a learning assistance program. The learning assistance program allows students in some of our core STEM classes to work with an upperclassman who has already been very successful in the course. That upperclassman also usually meets weekly with the faculty member for that specific class. And then they work with students in a larger group to go over homework assignments, to work on suggested problem sets that the faculty member has provided them, and really to provide guided practice and consultation. Those are also free, and they are offered weekly and sometimes bi-weekly for students. So we encourage our students actually to take advantage of both of those, because we often find our tutoring and our learning assistance to be complementary. We also offer academic coaching, and that's something that some people might not be familiar with. And at Emory, we offer both staff level coaching that myself and my colleague Christy provide. And then we also offer peer-to-peer coaching. Coaching targets sort of broader academic skills, things like goal setting, time management, larger study skills. We also help students maybe who are really kind of struggling to find their place academically at Emory, but in a different way from our advising counterparts. We work quite a bit back and forth. So I refer and get referrals from everyone on this webinar tonight. And we have a really great network within our program so that we are able to support students in kind of navigating and finding their way at Emory. We also might get referrals from faculty or from staff and work with students who might be struggling academically or students who really just want to make sure that they're sharpening their skills to get ahead. These are one-on-one appointments and we are able to offer those for students on a weekly basis, or some students might want to just check in with us bi-weekly. Finally, we offer a really robust schedule of workshops as well as groups. Our workshops focus on topics similar to our coaching, like time management, academic stress, motivation and procrastination. We do finals planning workshops, and we'll offer those and advertise those to students as they're entering campus through orientation and throughout the semester. We also offer groups for students, and some of these might be based around things like motivation and accountability. We may have groups for students who have had academic difficulties in a previous semester, and for students who are returning to campus. And then we host some fun events for students. We're looking forward to having some of these in person again for the fall, but we've been really having fantastic attendance at our virtual events. Around finals, we hosted virtual study halls, and we'll host some of those in person with fun games and activities and stress relief, along with our tutors who are there to provide academic support. We do the similar thing for our midterms. And then we also will be hosting an event for National Procrastination Week, which is a real struggle point for, I think, for most of us and most students. And so we do some programming around that to really help students take charge of their schedule and their work and make the most of their time at Emory.
Okay, so that is a lot of wonderful information. All of my amazing colleagues have provided you all with a lot of information that I know you will take back with you. And you're probably asking yourself, so now what do I do? What you do is you just take in that information and you use it to help you make the best decision about whether or not you'd like to attend Emory. And know that we are all here to support you in your academic journey. Things that you can specifically look to is communication that you're going to continue to receive from Emory. So make sure that if you receive communication from Emory, that you read all of those emails, you check all of those boxes so that you can make the best informed decision. With regard to advising, should you choose Emory, you will start getting lots of information about orientation and starting in the fall and early summer. You will be able to meet with an advisor in the summer. Mid-July is really when we're going to start pushing out lots of information to make sure that you have the opportunity to speak with an OUE advisor. In our orientation modules and our orientation sessions, you will have the opportunity to work with and hear from folks across all areas of academics and campus. So just make sure that you keep an eye out for all of that and know that you will be prompted. We will contact you. And as long as you're keeping an eye on those emails and everything that we send to you through newsletters and such, you'll be on top of it.
Yeah, you all have done an excellent job answering these questions that have been coming in the Q&A. And I know we've answered them live publicly so others can see the answers. But yeah, I know that we get a lot of questions throughout and students just want to make sure they don't miss anything, that they have as much information as soon as possible to know all of their options. We just had a question, someone just answered it in terms of, well, I think I want to double major and, will I have enough time to do that? They feel like they need to sign up for it right now. So if anyone can just, just speak to, is there any chance that a student will miss the boat between now and this summer?
I could take that, Kimber, if you want. No. I mean, there are so many opportunities to explore and change your mind. One of my favorite current stories of one of my students that I advise is he's on Emory's baseball team. He is a business student, so he's in the BBA program, and he didn't grow up with a faith tradition in his house and took a religion class freshman year at Emory and suddenly decided, you know what, I think I'll be a religion double major alongside business. Not something he had planned for, ever considered, thought about, but now that's what he's doing. So you will have so many opportunities to change your path a million different times. You may be pre-business and switch to pre-med, or may do both. You may be pre-med and switch to business, or just fall in love with psychology. So you're going to have so many opportunities. You don't feel like you have to make all those decisions right now.
And when we're working with students from the very beginning, we are always encouraging you to keep an open mind and know that a class that you may really be interested in, or maybe one that you never thought you would take, may be the one that you end up loving the most. So just having that open mind and being flexible and adaptable is really going to make your start a great one.
I would just add from the pre-health perspective in terms of the next steps, we really want you to chat with our peer mentors. I mentioned those are our juniors and seniors who volunteer their time to answer questions and give their perspective from the student point of view. And so prospective students and family members can talk to our peer mentors at any time. And the way you would get in touch is to go to our website and go to the Connect to Us section that was in the slide, and you'll see their biographies and their little smiling faces and their backgrounds and where they're from and their majors, and just, you know, send an email to them or email me. You'll have my information from this presentation and I'll connect you if you have trouble. But we really want you to get in touch with us, even as a prospective student, to just get all your questions answered.
I also want to pose a question to Meredith, something we talk kind of frequently about in the admission process is academic support. When is the right time to tap into academic support? How do you kind of make yourself known? I think that's a crucial part of the next step too.
Yes, we love it when we see incoming students using our programs from the very first week. In fact, we tend to try to target students during the orientation process so that you are aware of our services, and we have a lot of great workshops that are geared toward first-year students on transitioning to college, sort of setting up your schedule, setting some goals for that first semester. And we partner a lot of our content really well with the Health 100 and the PACE 101 courses so that we are complementing that information and all kind of building on each other in terms of academic success skills. So it's never too early to get started and be proactive. And I think engaging in tutoring and some of those group study sessions and the workshops early on are a great way to make sure that you're really honing your skills, that you're understanding your courses. We love working with first-year students in our coaching program just to make sure that you are ready, or if you're ready and you know your skills are great, how are you going to apply all of those really great skills to just have the best first few semesters here at Emory? I also think that it's also never too late to engage in our program. So if you are, right now we have some first year students that are coming into the end of their first year, and we're seeing a few of them tap into our services now, and it's never too late. So we're working with them to make sure that they finish out that second semester really strongly. So we're happy to see you as early as you want on the front end or in your last semester here at Emory, but we're just happy to see you and make sure that you are aware of and using our services.
Wonderful. Well, you all, 60 minutes goes by so quickly. Again, thank you to our presenters who have shared so much crucial information with you all tonight. Students and parents, thanks for joining. We've seen a lot in the Q&A of, is this going to be posted somewhere? Where can I find this information again? Yes, rest assured this session is recorded and you will be able to find it on YouTube or some of our social social media platforms in the next week or so. So do not hesitate if you need to take notes or watch this video again. It will definitely be available to you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And please be aware that as we progress through the rest of April, we have more virtual sessions coming up, Career Center and Study Abroad. Specifically, we'll talk about internships and research that's happening on April 15th, as well as some different diversity initiative sessions are coming up in the next couple of weeks, our information sessions. And then for parents and advocates, we have our Supporting Your Student session coming up this Monday on April 5th, talking about the safety and the campus culture of Emory. So stay tuned, more sessions to come. We thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone.